Fellas, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Hope you're enjoying the community. If there's anything that you think that we can do better, do differently, let us know. Send me a message, put in the comments. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. Here to help. Appreciate all the support. Just here to make each other's journey a lot better. Today, we're going to be talking about building resilience through challenges. True strength for men isn't about being rigid or pretending that everything's fine all the time. It's about having the resilience to get back up after falling and the adaptability to change course when life demands it. In this video, we're going to dive in as to how you can build resilience and adaptability, and not just as a survival mechanism, but as a path to thrive in every aspect of your life. Let's start by understanding resilience. Resilience is the art of bouncing back. When you think about resilience, I want you to start thinking about it as if it's a muscle, something that grows stronger the more you use it, because that's how your brain works. Resilience is your ability to bounce back after being knocked down. Life has a habit of throwing curveballs at us. Whether it's stress at work, struggles in relationships, or even some personal setbacks, the idea isn't to avoid these challenges because, let's be real, you can't, but to know how to navigate through them, coming out stronger on the other side. The science of resilience. Studies have shown that people with higher resilience tend to experience fewer symptoms of depression and anxiety during stressful times. Men who build resilience are better equipped to handle the pressures of family responsibilities, work, and personal goals. There's actually new research coming out right now that the more that you put yourself in challenging situations and the more you overcome adversity, it actually is being linked to longevity in terms of how long you will live. So literally, this is not only going to make your life a lot easier right now, but it's also going to give you a longer, more fulfilled life. So, practicing daily resilience. Resilience is honestly all about perspective. When you face a challenge, instead of just asking yourself, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? Start asking yourself, what actually is this teaching me? You should really be figuring out, like, why not me? Reframing your challenges actually helps turn setbacks into opportunities for growth, and it gets you out of that victim mindset. For instance, if you face a failed business venture or your relationship is failing, instead of dwelling on what went wrong the entire time, I want you to focus on the lessons you can use to make yourself better prepared for next time. So instead of like, okay, well, this is everything they said I did wrong, this is everything that's going on, like, why is this happening to me? My life is some shit right now. It's like, okay, let's say it's your relationship, I probably could have paid a little bit more attention. I probably could have gone on date nights. I probably could have, taken care of myself a little bit better to making sure that we're both improving in the relationship every single day instead of staying stagnant. And same thing with the business. Could you have made some more sales calls? Could you have, put forth a little bit better effort, provided better customer service? Could you have changed your business plan? Could you have changed your sales strategy when you realized things weren't working? Or hired a consultant, or anything that you could have done, or fired the employee that's dragging everything down. But there's so many things you could do that you'll learn from what not to do next time. Now let's talk about developing adaptability, or flow like water. Adaptability is just as important as resilience. If resilience is the ability to get back up, adaptability is knowing when and how to change your strategy to keep moving forward. In a world that's constantly evolving, staying adaptable means you aren't stuck with just one way of doing things. Instead, you evolve, you grow, and you adjust to life's changes. Whether it's shifting careers, or adjusting to new family dynamics, or learning just to deal with uncertainty. Adaptability is having flexibility in the face of change. The pandemic that we all went through in recent years, honestly, that was one of the biggest wake-up calls for us as to how flexible or adaptable we are. Some of us lost our jobs, some of us had to figure out how to work from home and honestly juggle a lot new family responsibilities. But the ones who rolled with the punches didn't just get by, but they found new doors opening. Being adaptable isn't just about waiting for things to happen and scrambling to be reactive. It's about seeing the change coming, thinking a step ahead, and then shifting with it instead of fighting against it. The real win is learning to ride the wave instead of getting wiped out by it. Part of being adaptable is being mentally flexible. This means letting go of rigid expectations. Life doesn't always go according to plan, but men with mental flexibility are able to adjust their mindset and still find a way to win. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to learn to flow like water. So think of it like water. Water flows around obstacles rather than resisting them, and its fluidity is the essence of adaptability. Mental flexibility allows you to see opportunities that others might miss because they're too focused on what should have happened. Try to stay in the present. This is where it's important to build your resilience and adaptability blueprint. It's one thing to talk about resilience and adaptability, but it's another to make them part of your daily life. Here's how to build a blueprint for these skills. You need to do daily resilience practices, starting every single morning with gratitude and reflection. So each day, you should start with gratitude. Personally, I start every single day with 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for, and I think that kind of grounds me to just realize what I have. So every day, I encourage you to write down 3 things you're grateful for and reflect on a challenge you face. Focus on how you handled it, and most importantly, what you learned. Practicing gratitude can rewire your brain to focus on positive aspects, even during shitty situations. Cold showers or physical challenges. Anytime I suggest something that involves like a physical activity or something like cold showers, like that could be a shock to your body, consult your doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a medical provider, so I'm not giving medical advice. This is just me based on research that I've learned over the years. Physical resilience builds mental resilience. You should start by taking cold showers or adding a physically challenging workout to your routine. By pushing your body to adapt, you're training your mind to do the same in stressful situations. So instead of, thinking about a difficult challenge that you have and just running away or pushing it off or procrastinating, you're instead going to face that challenge head on because you've been building this mental toughness the entire time. Another thing you can do is to change your routine. One way to practice adaptability is by intentionally changing up your routine. It could be as simple as taking a different route to work or trying a new type of exercise. The more you put yourself in new, unfamiliar situations, the more comfortable you become with change. And honestly, this could just be like, for me personally, I know the way to work because obviously I've been going there for the past 3 years, but I still, for some reason, put my GPS on. Sometimes, I don't know, my brain farts. Sometimes I honestly don't know if it's like a brain fart and I can't remember exactly which route I'm supposed to take to get there, or if I'm just making the excuse that I want to check the traffic. But whenever I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, is it a left or a right here? What I do instead is I literally just don't even pull up my GPS navigation system and I just try to fight through it. So I try to figure it out because the worst case scenario, what are we talking about? Like I waste 5 minutes, like who cares? But in terms of building mental resilience and actually strengthening my brain, I could honestly potentially add days, if not months, to my life by just doing this as a regular practice. What if scenarios? Practice adaptability by running what if scenarios. These are extremely, extremely powerful, and I highly recommend you start these today. If you're concerned about like losing your job, if you're concerned about whether you can pay the mortgage, whatever the case is, ask yourself, like, what if I lost my job today? What if I lost my house today? What if my girlfriend broke up with me? What if, this and this and this happened? I'm not trying to downplay any of these things that could happen. I know they're extremely serious things and there's grave consequences for them. I'm just saying play out the mental scenario in your head. Like, what if you had to move to a new city? What if you had to go get a new job? What if you had to start back from zero? Visualizing these situations and scenarios and developing a flexible plan for each can actually reduce the fear of the unknown. So a lot of our problems, honestly, is that we just fear the unknown. So if you actually think about like, okay, what are the worst things that can happen in my life today? Let me just like think about those and then create an actual plan scenario if XYZ were to happen. Then it's no longer like, oh my goodness, what would I do if this happens? It's like, oh shit, I know, I'll fucking do this. So you become more adaptable when life inevitably changes because life does inevitably change. Fellas, in the man up mindset, resilience and adaptability are not just survival traits. They are life skills that allow you to thrive no matter what is thrown at you. So instead of fearing change or running from setbacks, you learn to use these moments to grow. As with every class, I'm going to try to end it on an impactful quote that relates to the lesson. I hope you'll understand this about me, but I'm a very like visual, like kind of trying to imagine like things that create like a response. So some of these quotes, like I feel like if you close your eyes, you can actually imagine it, and it really like kind of ties everything together. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. Japanese proverb. The reason I say it, like, think about that, right? Like, I feel like you can picture yourself as like a bamboo stalk, just like tall in the air, just bending back and forth, versus like a rigid oak tree. Like, I live in Maryland, we have oak trees all over the place, and a lot of times after strong windstorms, they're literally on the fucking ground. But you can just picture like a bamboo. And I used to hear this saying from a colleague of mine back in the day. He used to say, be the willow, not the oak. As in, like, willow trees, they just, same concept, they swing back and forth, versus an oak tree is rigid. And when change comes and strong winds hit, the oak tree will snap and break, and they're done. Versus the willow, or in this case the bamboo, is just going back and forth, staying true to who they are, but is still able to be adaptable. Fellas, I'm hoping this community is giving you the tools you need to bend, adapt, and thrive, proving that true strength is about flexibility and not rigidity. Hope you enjoyed this. Appreciate it if you can share this with someone if you found some value from it, or share some insights within the community. Again, as always, I appreciate all y'all being here. Wish you all the best. Peace.